We're finally at a point that things are starting to slow down. Make sure you guys smash the living crap out of that subscribe button so you guys don't miss out on more Oz content. We've reached that fun time of the year where Yu-Gi-Oh! Kinds to start to slow down to the point of the meta is starting to become a little bit more defined. You have releases and expectations for 2025 that are going to be getting to the all-time high out here. And, you know, Konami is printing these power cards that they're like, hey, these are going to set our record market margins for next year. So, on the topic of everything that we have coming out here, Grand Crossover Breakers is the last set of the year for the TCG. All right, this is it. Like, once we get the reveals for that, December, you hit the ZZZ button, but not entirely. I'll talk more about that here in a second. So the last TCG release for this year is going to be Crossover Breakers. You're going to have people crying on the floor and pissing the bed because Malice and Rizal are not going to be $50 decks. I don't know why people think that, but expectations aside, you're going to have some nice rarity stuff. We're going to wrap up the year with this. This will be it for the TCG until we all wake up in 2025 and go, boy, Supreme Darkness, Third Mall Charmy, ah! Now, that's because you can sleep on the TCG. Now, the OCG out here, it's quiet time until December, except for, I believe we'll have premium pack news at some point, probably at the end of the month, where they're like, hey, Jump Festa. Jump Festa is going to be the biggest thing of the year. Now remember, last year at Jump Festa, we had this whole shebang. You guys remember the trailer we got for the 25th, right? Where they were showing off all of the craziness. You know, we had so many spoilers. We had Zeus, you know, we had the Melfi surprise. You had, all of it was animated. You got you were just like, you were so happy to see your favorite monsters come to life. We are within a month and a week, so about 5 weeks away as of filming this, for Jump Festa hitting the ground running out here, and we getting the chance to see what special announcements are coming. Now, as I said, this is the quiet phase for us, and it is a quiet phase for a good 3 weeks as we head on into December, where Konami lays the groundwork for the next year. All right, now remember, with the next set, expectations are going to be high. All right, Alliance Insight is going to be our April/May set. And if you guys traditionally know, those sorts of sets usually are pretty crazy. But that will also be the last set in what is considered the little block, usually, because it's our April set. We'll get like a side set, we'll draw the line in the sand. And then our August set, which is typically Japan's April or whatever set, typically is the cutoff point, because, you know, we're like 3 months behind, typically, or 2 to 3, really depends where these lines kind of go out here with this. I would expect that'll probably be the last set we will get those quarter centuries and so forth. So that means, I guess your expectations are all the way up through August, because Alliance Insight's already been confirmed to have QCRs, so woohoo! 25th never truly ends out here. Major things to be expecting. Back to that Jump Festa point. And I've said this in a lot of other videos. We are expecting some big spooky announcement out here. We are probably expecting another season of, you know, Go Rush. As much as you're like, Go Rush! Yeah, I know. All right, it doesn't matter. It gets new, young, generational blood into the game. More people are excited to play Yu-Gi-Oh! Simplified Edition, and then the actual trading card game itself is the more complicated version. Like, you know, you gotta call it what it is. You know, this version of the game is very complicated for new players, but to the people that do enjoy playing it, you know, it is what it is. I'm gonna just be honest with you. It has that level of complication that people strive for, and that level of interaction that players enjoy. So, new anime news would be fantastic. I guess the entire debate right now has been, hey, without an anime, Yu-Gi-Oh's not really doing too much. There was a time in the game's history where a lot of people were like, can we just get rid of the stupid anime? Can we just, Yu-Gi-Oh! And being attached to an anime is one of the dumbest things in the world, Robbie. We don't need that stupid anime. We can be Magic the Gathering out here. We can function without it. So we've reached the time now that we have stripped away from the anime. We no longer have that thing. We are on nostalgia power only out here. And now I'm hearing people go, we need an anime. This game cannot function without it. Like, how we have come full circle out here. And I love that, because you'll have people that be like, I never said that years ago. And you'll be like, well, you did. You did say that, Yu-Gi-Oh! Can function without an anime. Yes, it can function without an anime. But having those giant glorified commercials to get people into the, getting them involved, getting them excited, seeing a character just going, wacha, with their, amazing circular death machine dragon, and them going, no! And then they fall over on the ground, and like, wow, that was a good game, because 4Kids got the rights to it. But that's neither here nor there. All right. An anime is a very important part to this. So, with Jump Festa, what we are expecting, Alliance Insight News, I am still expecting, since we are kind of in the quiet zone out here, I wouldn't be surprised to see a structure deck announcement for Yugi. You got to remember, we just printed Kaiba. They gave Blue Eyes support. I guarantee you that Blue Eyes deck was one of the best financial moves that Konami has ever had. Contrary to whatever Yu-Gi-Oh! Player seems to think out here, that is like, nostalgia it's terrible, I can't believe this. They're a company and they like making money. Did you know that printing Blue Eyes support is like going ka-ching? All right, you're like, hey, I made money. All right, that's what happens when the printing machine does that. Dark Magician and Blue Eyes print money. Strange thing, right? I know. You can hate on nostalgia all you want, but guess what? All right, the company's making money. So I do think a structure deck is going to be on the table. I'm also pretty sure that January and February, actually probably February and a little bit of March, are probably going to be quiet zones in Japan. We do have those art collections coming where they're going to do the reprint stuff. It was like their special sets this year. Konami's like, hey guys, we're going to go ahead and we're going to release some new art cards in a set. There's going to be nothing new in those sets. So if you're probably going to see a little bit of a ramp up in December, January. And then for us, it's going to be another dead zone, probably hitting the late January and so forth for releases. But I would expect probably by March, you're going to see another ramp up of things. Those art collections are cool. It does give the TCG another opportunity to print Bonanza 4, or Bonanza 2, technically Rarity Collection 4. I am expecting that you'll probably see some of those cards that are going to be released in that set being dumped into ours as like the final yeah! And, push on that product. I'm also still wondering, since we are heading into that quiet time, I assume that this would be the point that they're going to start planning for Bonanza 2, at least to get things up. I would probably expect a ban list in probably late December. If we follow a lot of the trends that we typically have been following, late December should check all the marks for that, because Konami typically goes out of the office for the last 2 weeks of the year. So Konami, it would make sense for them to ramp up whatever they're planning to do with this, just to kind of hit the floor running and see what they can do. I mean, we also have the Shadow Duelist thing coming up on, what was it, the 23rd, 24th, somewhere along in there. I'm expecting some sort of interesting announcement, maybe a little bit of a heads up or something around that time. We'll have to wait and see. Reading video descriptions is evidently how we get information these days, instead of them, telling us what to expect. But that's really neither here nor there. I would just expect at this point in time that you need to be aware that your next major communication point will probably be then, or whatever openings we're going to have for Crossover Breaker. Speaking of, we have those coming up. That should be the last major thing besides premium pack news for the month. Like, if you're expecting Crossover Breakers, to be a pretty passable set, no, it is anything but. I am fully expecting some interesting stuff. I'm also curious to know how they're going to plan to do those openings with Thanksgiving coming up. But we'll have to wait and see. Gotta love Black Friday. Oh, and Black Friday. Can't wait to see all the crazy stuff. By the way, we're going to have something stupid planned for Black Friday. You guys will be able to look forward to that, and I hope you guys enjoy. Well, a quiet time, but there are a few big events coming up. And, well, oh boy. Hope you guys have a good rest of your day, alright? Patrons! Thank you!
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.